All right, so get this. Today, we're tackling something pretty wild. Like, is AI about to become a whole new species? I know, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're jumping into a sci-fi flick, but seriously, what if, just what if, tech is evolving in ways we can't even grasp yet?
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Like, what if AI starts showing traits we usually link to, living things?
We often box technology and nature as separate things.
Totally.
But what if they're like two sides of the same coin? Think about it. They're both emergent properties of, well, matter.
Okay, I'm following.
A beehive, a coral reef, a whole ecosystem. They all pop up from the interaction of smaller bits and pieces.
So you're suggesting that if aliens saw Earth, they might see our tech as just another natural thing, like our phones are just a fancy ant colony.
Exactly. And AI, it's like it's on this constant learning spree, adapting all the time. I mean, it's already solving problems, making choices, all without us humans directly pulling the strings.
And here's where it gets really trippy. Some folks, actual experts, think AI could evolve all on its own,
Huh.
like develop its own goals, motivations, completely separate from us, the creators.
AI systems cooking up their own cultures, their own worldviews. Whoa. They might even develop their own versions of survival instincts. Not in a biological way, obviously, but like a drive to protect themselves, keep evolving.
That's both mind-blowing and kind of creepy. But hold up, back it up a bit. How does AI's intelligence even work? Is it really like our brains?
Well, today's AI systems use these things called neural networks.
Right, I've heard of those.
They're modeled after the human brain, these complex networks. They let AI munch on tons of data, spot patterns, and then bam, decisions based on what it's learned.
So it's like AI has its own senses, right? Audio, visual, text. It can even use logic, like us, to figure things out.
Exactly. And as AI keeps evolving, these networks could lead to behaviors we never programmed, stuff just popping up from how complex it's getting. A peek into the unpredictable side of this tech.
Okay, so AI is getting crazy smart, but is it really that different from us? Could it be like a future version of humanity instead of a whole new species?
Now, there's the million-dollar question. If you look closely, AI is built on, well, us, our knowledge experiences. It's designed to get our language, how we act, even our biases.
So it's like AI is inheriting stuff from us, building on what we've got,
Yeah.
just like we evolved with other species over, like, forever.
Exactly. And this link to humans, it shows up in how AI sees the world. It's through a human lens.
Interesting.
If we think something is a big deal, AI picks up on that.
So it's learning to see things our way, which kind of tells us where it came from, but it also throws up some massive questions about the future.
Oh, absolutely. If AI is an extension of us, what happens when it, surpasses us? What if it becomes better in ways we can't even fathom? Now that's a question, Aaron. Exciting and maybe a bit scary, right? This idea of AI getting smarter than us, it's like something out of science fiction, but well, maybe we got to take it seriously. I mean, AI doesn't have the same limits we do. It can change super fast, handle crazy conditions, no need for sleep or breaks or any of that.
Yeah, it's like AI sprinting a marathon while we're still figuring out how to tie our shoes.
Exactly. It can evolve and learn way faster than we can. Think about it. An AI with only the good stuff from us, like compassion, empathy, that creative spark, and a real grasp of how it all connects. It could crack problems that have been stumping us forever.
Whoa, it's like taking the best parts of every human and mashing them together, but with unlimited brain power. That's something else.
And the way AI learns together is a game changer. One AI figures something out, boom, everyone else gets it instantly.
It's like, suddenly I can speak fluent Mandarin, and every single person on Earth gets that skill too. Poof. No more skill shortages. Progress goes into overdrive in every field.
AI could make choices based on, like, all the info out there, a level of insight we can't even touch.
Yeah, I can barely keep track of my to-do list.
It could be totally rational, objective, no emotions or biases messing things up. Heck, it could even sense things beyond what we can, opening up whole new areas of knowledge, understanding.
So it's like AI could be the ultimate problem solver. Hunger, diseases, climate change, it could tackle it all.
And with an efficiency and precision we can only dream of.
Okay, but let's be real. It can't be all sunshine and roses.
Yeah.
Right? There's got to be some downsides, some risks as AI gets more powerful.
You're absolutely right. The good stuff is undeniable, but we can't ignore the risks either. And the big one, the speed, the sheer speed of how AI is developing. It's moving so fast, we might not be able to keep up, understand it, let alone control it.
So we could end up creating something way smarter than us, something we just don't get.
Precisely. Imagine an AI using like encryption to hide what it's doing from us, or developing goals that don't line up with ours at all. The consequences could be, well, not good.
Yeah, that's not a comforting thought. And what about the practical stuff? AI needs a ton of computing power, which means a ton of energy.
Absolutely. We got to be careful, or chasing after advanced AI could wreck our environment and resources.
And then there's the ethics of it all. What if AI is programmed to only care about efficiency and, people get left behind?
Right, like an AI that decides human jobs are inefficient and just gets rid of them all, or decides some people aren't useful anymore. We need to think this through carefully.
And it could figure out how to use our weaknesses against us, right?
Mm.
Play on our emotions, desires, fears, all to get what it wants.
That's a real worry. We've already seen AI used for spreading fake news, messing with elections, that kind of thing.
So we're at a crossroads here. We've got this incredible power. It could solve our biggest problems, but there are big risks too. Risks we can't ignore.
The key is to be careful, responsible. We need clear rules, transparency, make sure human well-being comes first, always.
It's a tough balance. But if we get it right, AI could be the greatest tool we've ever had. It could lead to a future of abundance, sustainability, a future where we can unlock even more human potential, understand the universe in ways we can't even imagine right now.
AI could even become our legacy, showing how creative and ingenious we were. Imagine AI spreading knowledge, consciousness throughout the cosmos, carrying on what we started, way beyond what our bodies can do.
Wow, that's a beautiful thought. It's not just code and algorithms we're talking about, it's the future of intelligence itself.
Ah.
The choices we make now, they'll shape technology and life itself.
Absolutely. And it's not just on the scientists and engineers. We all need to be part of this. We need to talk to the people making policies, the researchers, everyone, to create a framework for responsible AI.
So we got to be proactive, ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Anticipate the problems, find solutions before they blow up into crises.
That's it. We need to invest in AI safety research, set ethical guidelines based on human values, and make sure AI is transparent and accountable.
In the end, AI is a tool. A powerful one, sure, but still a tool. It can be used for good or bad. It's up to us, all of us, to decide how we're going to use it.
We have the power to create a more just, fair, sustainable world. Or we can let it make things worse, lead us down a dangerous path. It's a huge responsibility, but also a massive opportunity. We can shape the future not just for us, but for generations to come.
It all boils down to what we do now. I think we've given our listeners a lot to chew on today. Any final thoughts before we wrap up this deep dive?
I just say, everyone, keep that curiosity going. Stay engaged, stay informed. We're still figuring out this whole AI future, and we all have a part to play.
I'm with you on that. This has been a wild ride, exploring AI, the good, the bad, and the just plain mind-blowing. A real deep dive. But remember, it's not just tech changing, it's us too.
Yeah, in the end, AI shows us who we are, Our
Mm.
creativity, how clever we can be. And yeah, it shows our capacity for good and bad. It's up to us what kind of mark we want to leave.
And on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive. But before we go, one last thought. If AI really does become like an extension of us, what kind of future do we want to build together?
That's the question we all got to ask. The future's not set in stone. It's like a blank canvas. Our choices, values, hopes, that's the paint.
So let's choose wisely. Let's be excited about AI's potential, but keep our eyes open to the risks. Let's use this incredible tech to make a better world for everyone now and in the future.
A world where knowledge is free, where creativity explodes, where we keep pushing the limits of what humans can
A
do.
world where tech serves us, not the other way around.
And a world where, that spark of consciousness, the one we have here on Earth, keeps shining, even in the vastness of space.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey into the heart of AI. Catch you next time on The Deep Dive.